pleasure to welcome back to the show. Man will be performing just up the road a bit, coming up February the 14th at Ruth Eckerd. Always great to welcome the great Steve Lawrence to the show today. And Steve, how you been?
I'm doing fine, Doug. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been, I guess, about a little less than 2 years since you were down in our area with Edie. I know you're going to do this one as a solo show, but I'm sure the fans will be happy to see you down here.
I look forward to seeing all our friends and all the listeners at WSLR. And I wish everybody, it's still the New Year. A Happy New Year to everybody.
That's right, yeah. It's cold down here in Florida, Steve. I hope you're prepared for that.
I know. I've been watching on television. I've been watching people in Florida with jackets and gloves. I have a friend of mine who said he went down to Florida for the winter and he found it.
That's right. That's why I left New York to come down to Florida. It's only for a couple of weeks, so it's not bad.
All the snowbirds that come down there, they come down for the winter. He said, went down for the winter and I found it, yeah.
Well, I didn't get a chance. I mean, I know I talked to you before you did the Van Wezel show a year and a half ago, and I had a chance to see the show that night, and it was another wonderful performance, and it's like that music never gets old, does it, Steve? The music.
Well, I think good music never gets old. I think it's, anything good, whether it's a song or a joke or something, you always like to hear it, you like to laugh at it or whatever. But I have been blessed with a lovely career and a good taste in music. And I grew up in a time when they were writing what they now call the Great American Songbook. And so all of music is just so relevant today as it was when it was written years ago.
You see a lot of the younger singers. I have a chance to interview some of them, like a Pamela Luss. You have Michael Bublé out there doing it. You got some other people, Tony Dessert. Some of the younger artists gravitating toward that kind of music. That must make you feel good, I guess.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a couple of good names that have come through in recent years. So, and I think it's great because they're introducing a younger audience to that wonderful music, and I think it's great. I think all you got to do is hear it, but you have to be exposed to it. And I think these kids are relating to it on their own level and their own age group. So I think they're bringing a lot of young people into some of this great music, which is terrific. I like it.
And Tony Bennett was just down here, Steve, the other night. They had their 40th anniversary at Van Wezel, and he a few years ago kind of did that. I guess he went on MTV. I guess his son got him on there, so that really brought a lot of the younger people into our type of music, didn't it?
Yeah, that sure did. And Tony Bennett has he's had an extraordinary career, not only as an artist, but as an artist on both levels, musically and as a painter. He's really developing quite a reputation in the world of art and painting. And I'm very happy to tell you I have 3 Tony Bennetts hanging in my home.
That's great. Yeah, I've seen some of his work. He does a great job with that, and still going strong. So God bless him. And you're still going strong. So God bless you.
Thank you very much. I bless you too. I'm still going strong too. You're still going strong.
It's that type of music. I mean, I grew up in New York. I think I mentioned before, listening to one of my favorite stations was WNEW. I know you were on it many times with William B. Williams, and that type of music. Unfortunately, it's no longer on anymore. But that really is the music that was the soundtrack of so many generations' lives, wasn't it?
No question about it. WNEW was the flagship station for Metro Media.
Right.
And Willie B. Williams was then like the Frank Sinatra of the DJs in New York, and Willie was a good friend of mine. He grew up in Long Island, and we became friends when we all met in New York. And he's the one who gave Frank Sinatra the title of chairman of the board. And Willie was a wonderful interviewer as well. And he really was a good friend and a very special guy, and he's missed. But that station no longer exists. It's now a Bloomberg financial station right now.
Yeah, well, all business, and nothing wrong with that, but they should never take that off.
But I really think that New York is missing that sound of WNEW,
It had a station up the dial, WQEW, for a couple of years, and then I left New York, but it went off the air too. I think it became a Disney affiliate, but it really is a shame there's no station like that in a major city. I don't know if they have one out by you, Steve, in L.A. or not, but there really should be a station like that in New York.
Well, there should be. New York should have a station like that, like WNEW, and every metropolitan area should have one. I mean, you're talking about. I know that the styles change, everything changes, but everything's become so narrow-channeled. Like the country music, and now there's rock country, and then there's pop and Latin and jazz and things, and there's so many. Everything has been so fractionized, but there still is a good music station that exists somewhere in the metropolitan area.
How is the technology today, Steve? I know Edie's very involved with your website, and you mentioned that before. Has that helped singers kind of keep their music out there, or how has it affected your career?
I think so, Doug. And Edie, I don't know if I mentioned this to you last time we spoke, but Edie she's into the computer. She set up that whole Steve and Edie website, and with all our records and all, and our records, our CDs, we've had them all digitalized and remastered into CD form, which is actually the sound of it is quite the technology that they have today. They could take sounds and things that you want beeped out of it, and they could accomplish that. But today, in the recording of that, they record so differently than we did when we were younger recording. We would record with the orchestra in the studio at that time, and you'd have to do 4 sides of different selections in a 3-hour period, with no mistakes on the part of the orchestra or the vocalist or whoever was doing it. It's really a different business, but the technology is really terrific.